As a unique individual spirit, you have total and main control over your body and over your mind. Without your spirit, your mind and your body simply cannot operate and cannot exist, because you are the main conductor, and if the main conductor is not within the body itself crashes like a car or a train. I say this because when we think about being possessed or possession and someone getting possessed by something, we think that it's another spirit getting hold of another person, or another person's spirit or another person's body. But because we are a unique individual spirit, we have the main control over what we let inside and what we let out. It is impossible to have another spirit take over that control. What can happen is that you as a individual spirit might have thoughts and feelings that you accept within your space, you reminisce over, and you have constant, or you pay constant attention, being it conscious or subconscious, to certain thoughts and feelings, that you might let those thoughts and feelings be your main drive or your main fuel for certain actions or attitudes and ways of being and acting on things. You as a spirit can only possess thoughts and feelings. You possess them. You have those thoughts and feelings because you have accepted those within your mind. And because you have accepted certain thoughts and feelings and started creating your own thoughts and feelings within your mind, and you let those be the makeup of your mind, then you might act more easily in ways and in certain characteristics that could resemble a specific spirit, therefore being associated with a certain, like a demonic entity or another spirit that would act that certain way. It could look like you are being possessed or someone is being possessed by that spirit because the way that you are acting is similar, because the things and the thoughts and the feelings that you let in your mind are similar. So it's not like you are being possessed by another spirit, it's that you possess certain thoughts and feelings as your drive, as your fuel, so that you act in a certain way, and you act in ways that might resemble other spirits or other people's characteristics besides your own. For instance, I have this example which I've experienced firsthand. I would see this man, whenever he would drink, whenever he would get drunk, he would get maniacally aggressive. He would become a psychopath, super psychotic and very aggressive. And that would never happen when he was sober. So it looked as if he would become a whole nother person when he would drink alcohol. And we can go a whole nother tangent on what alcohol can do to you. And I will explain just a little bit so you can understand how that can also play a role in acting in ways that you wouldn't act when sober. When you drink alcohol, what is alcohol? Alcohol is like spirits that are so close together, they are just waiting to be released, right? And that's, you can also relate this to like the genie in the bottle. You have various spirits inside the bottle, and that bottle is opened, and a lot of spirits come out of it and want to get free because there was so much friction, and just that's how even the substance of alcohol is created. There is just so many spirits together that want to be liberated, that that movement itself creates alcohol. And we can see that with like the spiritual, what we call spiritual drinks, the more stronger drinks that you need just a little bit to get more loose. And that's what alcohol does. It helps you get more loose and lets you get more or it helps you decontract, basically, right? And when a person drinks alcohol, whatever barrier was there to stop them, whatever conscious barrier was there to stop them from acting in a certain way, if it's not strong enough, it's gone. Whatever is behind that dome, when that dome disappears, when that boundary disappears, all the floodgates are open and all that stuff that is inside your mind goes outside. And that's kind of like a phenomenon that many of us may have observed before, where a person gets way more extroverted whenever they drink alcohol, and it's as if it's a whole nother person, because they had a certain barrier that they have imposed over themselves when they are sober, that when they drink, that barrier is dissolved, and it's as if it's a whole nother person right in front of you. And that's exactly what happened in the example that I was telling you, where this man, he would drink, and whenever he would drink, he would become drunk. He would become a whole nother, like, he would become a beast. He would become a very violent and psychotic man. And all of those barriers that would stop him from acting out a certain way are gone, and now he is just acting on those extremely violent and maniacal natures that he himself has let within himself and let reminisce and be inside of him as a pattern of thought, a pattern of behavior that in reality they want to act on. And the same goes when, for example, a person is very sad and they act a certain way and whatever, and when they drink, all of that goes out and a person starts crying and gets very emotional. That's what you would call an emotional drinker. They are more often, they have made up their minds of like sadness and depression and introverted nature, or of a nature that is way more emotional, right? And alcohol is just one example of letting those thoughts and feelings that were being kept by your conscious mind and letting them go out with the help of alcohol. And you can see in other situations where it's like more of a emotional situation and circumstance, where it's because of a specific trigger that someone just got extremely violent or extremely out of their... It looks as if they are out of their mind, because they never really act on in that way, and now they are acting in that way because of a specific trigger. And that just shows that there is thoughts and feelings that someone has that they don't show, and whenever there's a trigger or there is something that lets them know that they can let it out, it might start looking as if they are being possessed by something, because in reality they had those thoughts and feelings already inside their mind, and they just let them out whenever there's a specific thing or a specific trigger, and they let those thoughts and feelings lead their actions instead of... And more in reality it's more emotional than mental, because it's not logic in that... At that point, it's not logic or rationality that makes them act in a certain way. It's already emotional, sentimental triggers and things that, if you are out of control of your body and in an hour or in a day you're going to be regretting and saying, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what went over me, I was acting out of my mind, I don't know why I acted that way. And those type of regrets is when you let your emotions guide you, and you don't stop yourself for a moment and think, why the fuck am I acting in this way? And why am I hurting the people that I love, for example? Or why am I talking shit like this? Why am I so emotional? You just let those floodgates open, and in a day after or a few minutes later you have to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, and things like that, you know. So just wanted y'all to understand that it's not a spirit that takes over your own spirit or your own body or mind. It's your own spirit that has chosen certain patterns of thoughts and feelings and certain ways of behaving and certain ways of thinking, that in any moment, if you do not make the shadow work necessary for you to get rid of various thoughts and feelings that do not benefit and are not morally in service to you, then you are going to let those thoughts and feelings possess you in a way, or let them guide your actions, and in the end of the day you will regret it. So it's important for us to understand that, and it's not somebody, something taking over you. It's a thought and feeling that you let conduct your actions. So I wish you enjoyed it. I hope it was interesting, and let me know in the comments what you think about this. Let me know what you, if you have any experiences with this type of stuff and seeing others or even yourself. Let me know in the comments. And make sure to check out my Linktree in the description. If you want some art, if you want some paintings, make sure to let me know. And I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.